Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. And where am I? Well, we're near the entrance of our home. As you come in, you might see a nativity scene right here laid out before you. But what I like as much as the nativity scene is the painting that sits above it. And the painting that sits above it is actually a painting by Greg Olson. And it's a painting of Santa Claus reaching down into a nativity scene and plucking out carefully Jesus in his manger. And the expression on his face, the way that he's looking at it, it's left up to us to kind of contemplate what Santa may be thinking in that moment. But to me, it's a huge expression of gratitude. Recently, Lori shared with me a posting that was on Facebook that linked to an article that was written by a mother who talked about a tradition that they've developed in their family. A tradition in a way to embrace Santa or Christmas. So imagine a mindset of transitioning your children from believing in Santa to becoming Santa in such a way that Santa is not an untruth that gets uncovered, but an unfolding of good deeds in the Christmas spirit. Imagine a one-on-one conversation with your child at that age of dawning suspicion that Santa may not be a material being. You have a conversation like, you are so much taller. Look at how much you've grown. But you've not only grown physically, but you've grown in your heart as well. Your heart has grown. In fact, your heart has grown so much that I think you're ready to become a Santa Claus. We see many, many people dressed out like Santa Claus on the streets. Maybe your kids have started to question that. Some of their friends are saying there's no such thing as a Santa. But maybe that's because they're not ready to become a Santa Claus. But you are ready. And you are ready to do your first job as Santa. And this opens the door to talk about the power of giving. What does Santa get for bringing all the presents around the world? Some cookies? But more important than that, what does he really get? He gets this sense of giving, this wonderful joy that we get from giving to others. And this is the moment that perhaps you can recall some experiences where your child has shown empathy or where your child has given without asking anything in return. This is the opportunity to get them excited and then give them their first assignment. And so choose somebody that they know. This is a little bit like Secret Santa. But choose somebody that they know, a neighbor, a friend, maybe a relative, who needs something. Choose someone they know secretly, even deviously maybe, and provide, wrap, and deliver, but never reveal the target where it came from. So being a Santa isn't about getting credit, you see. It's an unselfish giving, what I refer to as Christ-like giving. In the article, the author shared how her son chose to do something for the witch lady. And the witch lady probably deserved it. She lived in the corner house. She had a fence around it, and every time a ball or a frisbee fell in there, she wouldn't let the kids go after it. In fact, she yelled at them all the time to be quiet. But this young boy noticed that every time she went out to get the newspaper, she went barefoot. And he said, "Mom, maybe she needs slippers." So her mom was touched by that, and together they figured she was probably a medium, and with mother's help they went and bought some slippers, but it was up to the boy to wrap it, to deliver it, and to never tell anybody that he had done it. So he wrapped it as best he could, and late at night he delivered it underneath her gate. The next morning he and his mom watched as that neighbor, the wicked witch, went out there and picked up the newspaper, but also picked up the present with it and went in the house. The next morning, with his face glued to the window as he's on his way to school, out comes the woman to get her newspaper wearing her new slippers. How excited he must have been, how ecstatic he must have been. Now, warning, this is where you remind them no one could ever know or he wouldn't be Santa. Now, she talks about this tradition carrying on to successive kids and how each child has helped the next one. And they've always kept it a secret. I'm asked so many times, how can we teach our children to be more grateful? How can we teach them to express gratitude without expectation? Maybe by being a Santa is one of the great ways we can do that without them feeling like they've been deceived. All the major religions teach the importance of giving without expectation. In the Jewish religion, they call it tzedakah. In Greek, they call it agape. And in the Christian religion, we call it charity, or the pure love of Christ. You know, and properly addressed, maybe, just maybe, this might give all religions a way to enjoy the Santa mindset for this time of year. For me, becoming Santa exemplifies a Christ-like gratitude. After all, the word Santa means saint. Merry Christmas to all of you, and Happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends, who coincidentally this year Hanukkah begins on Christmas Eve. LLD, live life deliberately. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.